Welcome onto the field here at Reser Stadium, where Oregon State is back in town to take on the visiting UCLA Bruins today. Thanks for watching the Orange Media Network football preview. I'm Josh Ward, I'm the play-by-play voice for KBVR FM. To my right is Brian Rathbone, the sports editor for the Daily Barometer, and to my left, Brendan Slaughter, the color commentator and sports director with KBVR FM. So, Oregon State still winless in the Pac-12, trying to beat the number 22 Bruins right here in Reser. Brian, what are your three things you're looking for when the Oregon State offense is on the field?
Well, the first thing, Josh, we're going to look for is they got to establish a run game. With the weather conditions, with weather in the forecast and rain, we need to find ways to establish a run game with either Storm Bars Woods or Ryan Nall, who last time ran for 122 yards last time in Reser Stadium. So they'll need to do that in this weather that we're having. Secondly, they're going to need to continue to find ways to move Nick Mitchell around in the pocket, whether that be, on bootlegs or whatnot. They need to find a way to continue to move him. They did a good job with that against Utah last week, so look for them to keep doing that. And then finally, they need to score points. I mean, averaging only 12.5 points the last two games. They're going to put up at least 28 to beat UCLA this week.
All right, there's Brian Rathbone's keys for the offense. Brendan, for the defensive side of the ball.
Well, the first things first is UCLA is the best team in the conference in protecting their quarterback. They have allowed the least amount of sacks in the Pac-12. Oregon State's got to get pressure on Josh Rosen. They have struggled to get pressure on most quarterbacks this year, and it's a reoccurring theme that I have here, but today it reigns true more than any other day. Rosen probably has the best deep ball of any quarterback in the conference right now, and you got to get pressure on him to be successful. Second, limit Paul Perkins' explosive plays. Perkins last week had a 37-yard touchdown reception where he dodged about 3 or 4 Colorado players before he got into the end zone. He ended up leaving that game hurt. I think he's still not 100%, but the guy's explosive, either running the ball or receiving. Got to limit his explosiveness. And then finally, you got to look for Oregon State's corners to step up. Right now, Larry Scott's still not 100%, and Kendall Hill's still starting on the opposite side. They're going up against a very solid, underrated receiver in Jordan Payton, and then a second good receiver in Thomas Duarte as well. So Oregon State's corners are going to have to stay stout if they're going to be successful against a UCLA offense that has really not missed a beat since Brett Hundley's left.
So Josh Rosen, the true freshman quarterback, getting the start today. Nick Mitchell, the redshirt freshman for Oregon State. Let's get some score updates, or score predictions, I should say. Brian, you're first.
Before the season started, I had this as Oregon State's upset victory. I'm going to stick with that. Oregon State's been playing a little bit better on defense recently. Offense is starting to come along. They just need to finish their drives and score touchdowns. So I'm going to go 28-20 Oregon State.
28-20 Beavers. Brendan.
I'm going to stick with my same prediction I made earlier in the week, 21-17 Oregon State, and Oregon State's going to hold Josh Rosen to, I want to say, he's going to have a rough day. It's going to be wet. Josh Rosen has not played in torrential downpour all year. You look at when a torrential downpour happens, and it's going to happen today. Tendency, the ball's a little harder to throw, and Oregon State has got a good solid run defense. I like Oregon State in this one, Josh.
2 picks for Oregon State. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm taking UCLA 31-14, but it's Dad's weekend. You never know if the fans here in Reser will be pleasantly surprised. So, for Brian Rathbone, Brendan Slaughter, I'm Josh Warden. Thanks for watching the Orange Media Network Football Preview.